Hey guys, TJ coming to you from Big Wins here with my paisano Eddie Petroselli. We've got a lot of Duotone stuff over here, but we're really just here to talk about this. Yes, this is the Crest foil from Duotone, and they have actually added one more size to it, the bigger 1200. So already what was a pretty complete lineup that we've written on all of these boards over here, there was one that was missing, and it was this guy here, the 1200. And I think this is a very multidisciplinary foil. The aspect ratio changes as it grows in size. The new 1200 happens to be the lowest aspect ratio at 8.6. And boy, this thing is surfy. I mean, you rode it this weekend. Would you ride it on that?
I did try to ride it on this 95-liter board, which for my weight was the smallest I've ever gone, but I rode the 1200 for 3 days in a row. And I think for me, TJ, what I love the most is I'm not debating whether I want to try an HA or an MA. I just take the Crest. It seems to, for me to strike a really nice balance of horsepower to get up on foil. And then the real standout feature for me is both its glide and maneuverability. I've never really made turns like I did this weekend, and they were enough that even Walker Hendricks texted me. I shared it with you to show you. He said I looked like I was improving. No, I'm telling you, we were sharing swells, McFloey and I, sharing swells. And I know it happened because look, when I got back to my car, look at this. Look, McFloey kudos right there.
And the 1200, you think this has a place in your personal quiver?
I would love for it to be my daily driver. I feel like in lighter, I tried it on Saturday, it was really light, it was really small. I was able to get up and get going. And then subsequently I rode it on Monday night where the gusts were in the mid 40s, bigger swell. And there were opportunities for really big high-speed turns, and I was blown away that I wasn't foiling out with this. It still had great control.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Control, user-friendliness. Honestly, if you take a wing foiling lesson from us, you're going to be learning on something bigger. For example, this free foil, the 2.0 that just came out from Duotone, that runs on their alloy mast. You're likely going to be on a bigger Sky Free, but it's the same 3BS system. So if you learn on something like this, I would not hesitate to say, you know, this Crest 1200 might be your next purchase. And you don't necessarily have to upgrade to the Duotone SLS carbon mast or even the D-Lab Slim 2.0. But I will say, this is the ultimate combo right here, going Slim 2.0, Crest front wing, and then their monoblock tail, which there's two sizes, right? The PX 160 with the shorter fuselage. Yep. And then the smaller tail, the 140, comes with a slightly longer fuselage. And if I were to build a quiver of Crest front wings, I think I would probably want both tails. The monoblock system is pretty unique. I think we have it right over here on their DTE setup here, which this thing in itself is mind-blowing. So this is the Crest 1050. This is the one that a lot of us have been riding, the DTE. This happens to be the Midfish 58 liter, but the electric setup on the D-Lab mast. And this is the 40 smaller tail, monoblock tail, with the longer fuselage. And they claim that fuselage is a 63 centimeter length. I mean, it kind of varies from brand to brand, but that is their longer fuselage. Whereas Eddie, I think you were riding this one.
Yep. With the shorter, the 37. This is a monoblock tail. It's the 37. It comes out to Duotone's measurement of 60 fuselage.
So slightly shorter. And what do you like about the characteristics on this one?
So I've got all this horsepower, or at least I did the other night with that 1200 front wing, but it doesn't come at the expense of maneuverability.
Yeah, right.
I can absolutely pump, and I can play and carve and connect. And when you're learning, you know, I feel like I've been through a lot of different foils, both MAs and HAs, and there's benefits of both. The Crest to me brought those benefits together.
Totally. And if you want a little bit more pump and glide, I think the smaller tail might behoove you for those purposes. But if you're here in the gorge and you're just banking swell turn after turn, I think that shorter fuselage with the larger PX 160 tail is a really good combo for sure. What else do we want to talk about here? We've talked about like aspect ratio and how it climbs, you know, like this Crest 675 is the smallest one in their lineup. So if you're looking at the smallest versus the biggest here, this one I think comes out to a 9.3 AR. So you can see that the smallest one is fairly narrow in the chord here, whereas the biggest one at an 8.6 AR, is it 8.6? I believe it is. Want to make sure I get
8.6, TJ,
8.6,
spot on
yeah.
as always. We're
So
precise
the-
here at Goodwins.
So the aspect ratio isn't set throughout the entire lineup. It actually gets lower aspect as these foils get a little bit bigger in size, which I think makes a lot of sense. It's not a high aspect foil, it's not a medium aspect foil, it is what it is. It's the Crest, and it seems to be kind of a one and done for a lot of us out here. Kudos to Duotone though. I mean, this is really honestly one of the first years where I can say they've got it all now. They've got a really good parawing, they've got really good wings with the float in the units, they've got really good boards from entry level all the way up to these hollow D-Labs. Downwind boards are legit this year, and their foils, man, I think they hit a home run. We're excited about 2026. If you guys want to come demo any of this product, it's here at the shop to demo. We'd love to get you on it, and yeah, gotta try the Crest if you have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's worth it.